Hey y'all, it's Val with our Forever Farm. We're gonna have a busy day. We've got the kids coming over today, and I'm real excited about that. Sweet Hunter is still recovering from his back surgery. It's been about 3 weeks, and he's doing good. He's weak and tired, and they said it'd take 3 to 4 months, so I think he's doing really good. But we haven't really been anywhere or anything, so keep him in your prayers. Before we start this video though, I want to take just a moment and just say how the devastation of this hurricane has touched me. It's just, Georgia was in the line and it turned east, and I just thank the Lord for that. But I can't help but think of all the people that are missing loved ones, family members. I think Sweet Hunter told me like 600 people are missing. Can you imagine missing one of your family members or friends? I can't imagine. So we need to all stop and pray. And we also need to take this time to realize why we do food storage, why we collect water. Now, the people that lost their homes, lost their towns, that won't do any good. But you know what? If it happened in my neighboring town, I would be set up enough with my food storage and water storage to help somebody else. That's the way we need to think. So the places that are devastated are so far away, but you know what? We can do one thing for them. We can pray for them. I pray for all the family members that are looking for their loved ones. I pray for all the people that have lost their homes. I pray for all the towns that are wiped away. Lord, bless them all. Let's not forget Israel. Israel plays a big part in our lives. We support Israel. And don't forget the vote. You know that's coming up. The way I see that is there's right and there's wrong. There's evil and there's good. So that's how we decide how to vote. Now, let's start our video.
Good morning. Come on. Come on. Everybody come on.
So that's how I start my morning every morning. Then I come in and have a Coke with Sweet Hunter while he drinks his coffee, and we just relax for a little while. And then later I'll fix him something to eat. Today it was pecan pancakes, and I'm making them on my new griddle. I bought it at Walmart, and the brand is beautiful. Then later on, I move on. I had some bread rising, and I move on to that. I made 4 loaves, and they all got gone today. This is just a sandwich yeast bread that I make. I'm not into the sourdough yet. I hope to be one day, but right now we love this bread. Everybody loves this bread. It's so good and easy to make. Now, although you think you see me knead this by hand, basically what I'm doing is I'm kneading this to get it into the shape of a ball where I can cut the 2 loaves. My mixer does most of the kneading, so that's what makes it so easy. Now, up until 2 weeks ago, I used a KitchenAid mixer for 40 years, but I'm making so much bread now that I need to step it up on the mixer, and I got me a new mixer. My KitchenAid is still here, and I use it all the time on other things, but for kneading bread, I've stepped up to a more bread making machine, I guess I should say. I'll share that in another video. But I will add this bread can be kneaded by hand if you don't have a mixer with a dough hook. This can all be done by hand. Now we're moving on to the star of the show. I'm making a Veg-All soup. And this soup, the recipe, it was given to me by a friend. And I'm doubling the recipe, but right now what I'm doing is I'm putting ground beef in the pan. You can use ground turkey, you can use ground deer. This is such an easy recipe to use. So you just brown your meat. You can basically make any kind of soup with this base. It's like a base with Veg-All, which has all the vegetables. So I add an onion. This was not in the original recipe. You can add this onion before you brown your meat or during it like I'm doing. And if you have somebody in your family that doesn't like onion like I have, Sweet Hunter does not like onion, I chop these very fine. Then I add the onions to the meat and just let them cook. Then I add Veg-All. I usually use one large can, but I'm doubling this recipe and all I have is the small cans. So I just pour it in and I do not drain it. Then I add one big can of tomato sauce. You can add more if you'd like, but this is what I liked. And then I added corn. Now this was corn out of my freezer, but you can use canned corn, frozen corn, you know, whatever you want to use. And then I mix it all together. Then I season it to taste. So I just use salt and pepper. Then I add Tabasco sauce. Sweet Hunter likes Tabasco sauce in it. When it cooks up, it isn't real hot. And then I put this on the table to, you know, give everybody the option to use it or not. And then I just simmer this on the stove for about 30 minutes. While I'm doing that, I'm getting my bread out. Look at this, isn't this delicious? Now, if you're interested in making this bread, I did a video the other day on this recipe, and it will be in the description box. I'll link the video so you can find that. As you can see, I'm checking the temperature on my bread. I like to do that just to make sure it's done, because you really never know if your bread's done, and you like for it to be about 190 degrees, at least. And I'm just simmering the soup. Isn't that delicious? Oh, it looks so good. So instead of putting an egg wash on my bread before I put it in the oven, I like to just have melted, salted butter and put on it after it's cooked. To me, it just gives it such a taste. And when I cut this bread, I cut it really thin, like sandwich bread, because that's what it is. But it's so good toasted. Well, there's nothing better than hot homemade bread cooking in your kitchen. The aroma is unbelievable, and the taste of this bread with the salted butter on top is just delicious. But today I wanted to share this easy soup since it's fall and beginning to be cooler weather. I think you'll really enjoy it. So I decided to come outside and get a break from the kitchen. So the main reason for this video, number one, is to ask you to pray for the ones that are devastated in this hurricane. Number two, pray for our election. Number three, pray for Israel. It makes all the difference in the world. And then we made a very simple vegetable soup and made several loaves of homemade bread. So the kids came over, and my oldest daughter brought strawberry cake, and my middle daughter, she helped me in the house some. You know, since Sweet Hunter's recovering, I'm having to do it all. And my third daughter, my baby girl, she came right when we were putting the fence up to help with keeping the deer out of the garden. And so it took like 4 of us, and Sweet Hunter watched too. And we made a soup. I made several loaves of bread. And my friend Stacy, which is my best friend's niece, she came over. She went to J and she got us a half bushel of ambrosia apples. I can't wait to do them. I'm gonna do some apple pie filling, and I'm gonna do some apple butter. And she brought apple cinnamon bread. She brought the best fried green tomatoes. It was Vicky's recipe, and it made me, I've got one plant that's got some green tomatoes on it, so it made me wanna do a video on fried green tomatoes. Maybe I'll have enough to do that one day. And what else did she bring? Oh, she brought Sweet Hunter apple pies. He had requested that from her. Our son-in-law Lane, he help like you wouldn't believe. He's helped 2 days this week. He helped us do a whole lot of stuff. I tell you, I really appreciate Sweet Hunter. When I'm not doing near what he does, but when you are without your husband, it does make a difference in everything you have to do. And you know, we're like a team, so he does certain things, I do certain things. Now I'm having to do them all, and I'm not doing them near as good as him. We thank you for your prayers. I wanted to show y'all how to make this simple little soup. I call it a Veg-All soup. The recipe was given to me by Kathy Caldwell. She has gone to heaven now, and I will, every time I make the soup, I think of her. So it has ground beef, it has tomato sauce, it has Veg-All, and it has corn, and I add onions. You can basically add anything you want. You can use the base of the Veg-All. It has potatoes and carrots and peas. It really makes it good. I doubled the recipe because I knew I was going to have a house full today, but it's really good. And I didn't even eat until everybody's gone because I'm tired. So I'm going to do a taste test right now. It's really a good soup. Y'all need to try it if you haven't. I also add hot sauce to it when I cook it, and then I serve it with hot sauce on the table. Very good. And my bread, I will have to tell you, all my kids love my bread, and Stacy loves my bread, and I have to say, it's really good. I wish I knew where I got the recipe. I've had it for years. It's really, really good. So I toasted it with butter on it. It's so good. And it's perfect with this soup. It's about to be, well, I start to say it's about to be fall, y'all. It is fall, y'all. And it's time to start making soups and casseroles, and I'm very excited about that. We're gonna make several different kinds of bread. I'm excited. Again, prayers are needed all over the world. So y'all go cook something.